Let's begin what's trending in Benue State, where the state government has declared today, June 18th, a public holiday to honor President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's visit to the state. The visit, which comes in response to recent deadly attacks by suspected criminal headers in Yelewata and Daudu communities in Guma, local government area of the state, resulting in over 150 deaths, has been met with mixed reactions. The secretary to the Benue State government, Deborah Abba, announced the holiday, urging residents to come out in large numbers to welcome the president and his entourage. Meanwhile, the state government is reportedly mobilizing support groups to organize a colorful welcome for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In an official letter dated June 17th, the senior special assistant to the governor on special groups mobilization invited registered support groups to form a colorful procession and wear designated uniforms to receive the president. In the letter, the parade is expected to start from the airport and proceed all the way to the government house in Makurdi, where the president is scheduled to attend a town hall meeting. The letter has since gone viral, with many criticizing the Benue State government. Let me take Adekunle's tweet. He wrote, "There is something fundamentally wrong with our society. Unfortunately, it affects both the leaders and those appointed to work with them. How on earth will anyone endorse such a memo of fanfare to welcome the president when it ought to be a gathering of sober reflection and action to prevent further massacre of Nigerians?" Vimbai, have you heard of anything this absurd? This is quite ridiculous. I mean, I believe that this memo, the reason I brought up this story, is for the Benue State government to either debunk it or withdraw that absolute nonsense.
Well, I'm sure we'll see visuals of the president arriving shortly, and we'll be able to see what they have in store. But this is so insensitive. It is deplorable. It is the worst possible choice that one can make at this particular juncture. Let's start with the public holiday. Why? First of all, families are in mourning. When you look at the number that have died, not just in this in the last spate of attacks, but in a broader sense, the number is in the thousands, which means that there's no family in Benue State that has not been affected by these killings, whether it be directly or indirectly. So this is supposed to be a time of grief and mourning. What we would expect is that even before the president came, the state maybe should have actually taken a day out to mourn, a day of grief and a day to honor those who have lost their lives needlessly during these attacks. That's number one. Number two is, you know, this spirit of Ashwebi. Ashwebi is such a wonderful thing, but we really need to figure out when it's appropriate and when it's not appropriate. I know they're not calling for actual Ashwebi fabric, but the concept is, you know, different groups wearing different colors. It's the general concept of Ashwebi. And you know, we normally see Ashwebi, you know, when the children are kidnapped and they bring them back, they give them Ashwebi. It's misplaced. It's absolutely misplaced, and this is not the time nor the day. Let's not shift the conversation away from the things that matter. The citizens, yes, you're more than welcome. It's important for you to welcome your president and honor him as he is coming to show solidarity with you. But there's a reason why black is the color of grief, and that's the color that they would need to, so that the president can also understand how serious the issue is. I saw videos of people sweeping. That's another thing. They've now sent people to start cleaning the state. Why was your state not clean to begin with? You should have been consistent with the maintenance of it. Now you want to, you know, as Africans, we also have a major problem, because African homes, most times, no matter what we're going through, when we have visitors, we bring out our best cutlery, our best this, our best that, our best. It's African tradition to almost try to hide our shame. But this is not the time to do that. When your father, quote unquote, in the embodiment of the president is coming, is your time to cry at his feet. And this is our problem, not to, you know, put Vaseline on your face and make sure your face looks shiny so that he thinks that everything is in a better state than it. He needs to see the state for what it is.
Absolutely, and I love your point. Black is the color of mourning, and that's what the people of Benue should adorn while the president is there. Meanwhile, a video featuring a survivor of the deadly attack in Yelewata sharing his harrowing experience has gone viral. In the video, the survivor, Michael Aja, said he lost 20 members of his family. He recounted how their homes were set ablaze by suspected herdsmen, adding that 11 members of his family died in one house. Aja also lost all his goods and property during the attack. He spoke with News Central. Let's take a look.
My whole family members that died yesterday, day before yesterday, on that very day, there were 20. That is my own family members. I'm not talking about any other thing. That is my own family members. This is my store. They burned my clothes, they burned everything, they burned our food, all my family members. What we kept out with is our clothes, what we wear. On that very day, rain started in the evening. So we entered, I slept there. So I was sleeping around 10:20. We had gunshot at back there. So before we could notice that something is happened, Fulani men, they enter this place.
How are you sure they are Fulani men?
Because they were speaking and I was inside the room and I heard them clearly. Not somebody told me. I was inside the room there and they surrounded that room. I escaped narrowly. My brothers born in this house. Some escaped. My dad born in this house.
My heart goes out to this young man, Michael Aja, losing 20 members of his family.
Do you know the emotional trauma and pain he will live with for the rest of his life? Do you know the nightmare? Do you even care how he sleeps? And some people have the nerve to start a jamboree because the president is coming for a day of mourning. The president, please, is not coming to commission laudable projects of the Benue State government. The president is coming there because a country they pledge their allegiance to has failed them, not one, not two times. In the space of 2 years, over 1,000 people have been killed and millions, thousands have been displaced in that area. It is a day of sorrow. The blood of the people of Benue washes that ground they will be stepping on. But people are more concerned about jamboree. For what they have done, to even think and attempt to do like a jamboree, they have allowed the people in that area to die again. When are we going to stop this madness we do in our country? When are we going to stop this over-subservience to power, where we need to solve the problem and speak truth to power? The reason for the problems in Benue can also be attributed to this sycophancy that we are seeing by these people. Did they declare a public holiday to mourn the people of Benue when they were killed? Did they declare a public holiday to mourn the people when they came out to protest? Didn't the security agents stop the people from protesting by shooting them with tear gas? What country are we running? When will this level of sycophancy stop?
Many still don't realize that we don't have security in this country. What we have is an illusion of security. A lot of people think that by praying that they will be secure, nothing will happen to them. Let me tell you something. The last victims, they also prayed. God will not do for us what he has given us the capacity for us to do for ourselves. God has given us everything to be able to secure ourselves as a nation. God has given us the capacity for us to choose who becomes the commander-in-chief, who becomes the president, who is in charge of our security. God has given us the resources to buy arms and ammunition to train ourselves. God has given us the human resources to be able to defend ourselves. We have soldiers, we have a lot of good soldiers, good generals, intelligence generals, but they have been kept at the back. They have not been allowed to be in position to do the needful. What we have is a lack of political will to secure every Nigerian. People are sitting down there. You have another opportunity again, come 2023, to make the difference in who becomes the president and commander-in-chief. You are there sitting down and saying that, oh, you are going to vote people who think it is their turn. No wahala. Is it not turn by turn? Even Nigeria is turn by turn Nigeria Limited. Vote with people who don't have capacity just because they think it is their turn. Oh, they've been vying to be president since God knows when. They've been running to be president since 1990 something. Oh, they have put many people in position. So now it is their turn to be put in position. Vote for them. Remember, it will soon be your turn also to be abducted or to be killed or your properties to be destroyed or whatever. It is not by turn Nigeria Limited though. I've been saying this before. Let me repeat it again so that you will hear again. Yesterday's victims were once survivors. Today's victims were yesterday's survivors. And tomorrow's victims will be today's survivors. Who is next? Those who have been killed will not be killed again. The next to be killed are those of us who are alive. You and I that are alive. We are the next victims waiting to happen. Who is next? The people you are saying it's their turn for them to be president, and you vote for them, and they go in there and give incompetence. When it is your turn to be killed, or your turn to be kidnapped, or your turn to be maimed, or your turn for your properties or whatever to be destroyed, they will not be there for you. They will not be there for you. They have shown capacity to ignore you and go and chill in Dubai or chill in London. They can use their private jet to go out. They have vehicles that have bulletproof. You and I, do we have vehicles that have bulletproofs? What is it that we have other than may God protect us? We are praying to God every day. But yet, when God gives us the power, The power that God has given us to choose the right person that will become president and commander-in-chief and be able to competently defend us, we are throwing the power away. When it's time, we say, oh God, protect us. God will not do for us what he has given us the capacity for us to do for ourselves. It's in our hand to do the needful or not do the needful. If you like, vote the people that is their turn. Remember, Nigeria is turn by turn, Nigeria limited. It's turn by turn. It will soon be your turn also to be abducted, killed, kidnapped. Me, I've already made since 2014. I've been waiting for my turn. I know it to be my turn. That's when I started asking, who is next? Ask yourself. These people you are thinking of that you want to vote, when you are next, will they bother that it's your turn? Bam.
The decision by Governor Hyacinth Elia to declare June 18, 2025 amidst active mourning for over 150 to 200 victims of the recent Yelewata massacre as a public holiday to welcome President Tinubu is deeply tone-deaf. It signals a detachment from the pain of grieving communities, prioritizing political optics over genuine comfort and accountability. To compound this, school children were forced to line the streets in pouring rain. The images of drenched pupils greeting the president risk being perceived more as spectacle than solemn tribute. Comedian F. Warboy aptly captured public sentiment. Over 200 dead, you declared holiday for president. Once you join APC, it gets worse. This mockery of grief speaks to a broader frustration with the Tinubu-led APC government's failure on security, a fundamental obligation of the state. Security crisis, hard data and trends. 150 plus killed in Yelewata alone last weekend, nationwide. From January to March 2025, 3,610 Nigerians lost their lives to bandits and insurgents. Since Tinubu took power in May 2023, Amnesty International reports over 10,000 deaths from violent attacks. Even as the government insists security has improved, aggregate data underscores a national failure. 11,420 deaths during Buhari's last term, followed by 13,346 deaths and 9,207 abductions by Sep 2024, with limited military or policy change. Despite a record 6.11 trillion security budget for 2025, the bleeding continues, suggesting deep institutional flaws. Local and socio-economic toll. A June 2025 academic study on Benue found that each 1% rise in insecurity/crop output by 0.211% and livestock output by 0.311%. This isn't just death and displacement, it's famine, lost income, and shattered livelihoods in one of Nigeria's breadbaskets. Why this holiday decision backfires politically. 1. Disrespect to mourning citizens, many still searching for missing loved ones, receiving condolences, not fanfare. 2. Signals misalignment of priorities, security should be front and center, not sidelined by spectacle. 3. Amplifies existing distrust, with Nigerians already suffering from inflation exceeding 23% and a rising cost of living. This misstep deepens disillusionment. Recommendations for dignified governance. Suspend celebratory events during crisis. Focus on empathy and support with blood-bought dignity. Address systemic security deficits. Decentralize coordination. Hold National Security Council meetings regularly. And strengthen intelligence fusion. Reinstate civilian trust. Compensate victims. Support displaced farmers. And fund community policing initiatives like grazing reserves. In summary, Benue's holiday to welcome the president amid carnage is more than bad taste. It crystallizes a pattern of failed governance, with thousands of lives lost, fields barren, and citizens in fear. A public holiday now signals political theater, not leadership or healing. The Tinubu APC era's most basic, -1 to keep Nigerians safe continues to erode. Without a course reversal, the holiday risk will be remembered not as hospitality, but as a haunting symbol of misplaced priorities.